Okay. So part 3 here, things to increase in your life. The first part was things to reduce. No, things to cut out. Then part 2 is things to reduce. And this is going to be things to increase. So this is going to be a 3-part series. And we're going to just dive into this one. Oh, I gave it away. I screwed that up. But that's okay. Shit happens, you know? Okay, number 1, increase sunlight. Big one. This has been the biggest impact in my life lately. And even though it's snowing here today, April 22nd, it's snowing right now. We got about 3 inches of snow last night, if not more. But I've been going out every morning with Arnie and watching the sunrise. And I don't think I really appreciate how much of an impact that's had on my life. And I really want to get to a place in my life where I can move somewhere where I don't have to go through the full Canadian winter anymore, and I can get more sunlight, because sunlight makes things grow. It helps every single aspect of your life. I think that sunlight is the most underrated thing in the planet. And I know we've been trained and programmed to believe that sun is bad for you. You should, bathe yourself in sunscreen. I think that that's bullshit. And I'll tell you a little story here, actually. I was always the friend in the group who put sunscreen on. As a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, I was always the one who put sunscreen on, no matter what. Golfing, at the beach, anytime. I thought that, I didn't want to age too quickly. I didn't want to get burnt. I didn't want to get cancer, anything like that. So I put on as much sunscreen as I could. And here's what happened. In 2015, I got skin cancer. I haven't really talked about this at all on the show or anything because it's not really relevant. But I had skin cancer, and they took a huge chunk of my chest out because there was a big mole that had turned pretty black and dark and grown. So again, I really believe that between sunglasses and sunscreen, the two of the biggest psyops that have ever been perpetrated on the general public. Up there anyways. I know there's a ton of things like that, but sunglasses and sunscreen, I think, are the biggest scams in health. So the sun is so important for you, both the rhythm of your body, circadian rhythm, your energy levels, your sleep, everything. Sunlight is just so good for you. Your mood, everything. So definitely, unfortunately, I can't get enough here, but I try to whenever I can. Number 2 is income streams. I think that this is, we're moving away from the 9-to-5 world. The whole corporate structure is going to change over this next decade. And I think the more serious you can take this, the sooner, the much better you're going to be in, and the more dividends it's going to pay into the future. And don't worry about how much income is coming in from each stream. That shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be on trying to create as many different income streams as possible. And that kind of goes back to reducing your single points of failure, because if you're an employee and you have one single source of income, which is your paycheck, and all of a sudden that's cut off, you're in a lot of trouble. So what you can do is instead, you can try to gain as many income streams as possible. And my favorite analogy for this is think about it like a wheel. And this is from Ben. And he said, add as many spokes to that wheel as possible. Every time you create a new income stream, if it's $1 a month, if it's $10 a month, it doesn't matter. That's an income stream. That's an income spoke on your wheel. And you want as many spokes on that wheel as possible. So if you lose one or two, it's not going to have any sort of impact on you. And you can do this with a bunch of different ways. You can start a channel, you can start a blog, you can take some advertisements from people. You can share some affiliate links, referral links. You can get a secondary job. You can do whatever you want. It's pretty much unlimited right now in the world. So make it your focus to add as many income streams to your life as possible. And I see Clean Your Machine here, coffee time. So it looks like the price of Bitcoin has gone up because at the start of the show, LaughPad sent a coffee and it was worth 3,336 sats, and Clean Your Machine just sent one and is 3,317 sats. So that to me suggests that the price of Bitcoin has gone up since we started the show. So thank you, Cleaner Machine. I appreciate that. Number 3 is sats and cold storage. Again, reduce the amount of sats on your Lightning wallets, reduce the amount of sats on your hot wallets, and increase the sats in your cold storage. I think not only does cold storage protect your sats and keep them more secure, for me, every time I send sats to cold storage, they're going to be there for a long time. There's going to be some friction there for me to have to withdraw those sats back to online to a hot wallet and exchange it. So there's a lot more friction there. So I think that for me anyways, every time I send sats to a cold storage, I know that they're going to be there for a very long time. So it's a really good way to save. And don't worry so much about the UTXOs. And I'm actually going to talk about something in a minute here or two about UTXOs. But just every chance you get, send your sats to cold storage. Don't be doing it for like anything under 50,000 sats. I mean, it won't hurt. And I'm going to talk about that right away. So I'll skip that for now. But keep your sats safe. Keep them there for the long term. Put them into cold storage. Oh, the next one here. UTXOs. Things to increase UTXOs. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion within Bitcoin, but I don't care. I don't think there's enough people paying attention to this. And I think that that's a problem. So I think that every Bitcoiner should have a really good mix of large UTXOs and small UTXOs. So my advice would be take all the Bitcoin you have today, put it into a couple different UTXOs, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 larger UTXOs. And then all the sats you accumulate from now on, create new UTXOs with those. So you might have some 1 million sat, some 50 million sat, some 20 million sat, and you lock those up in cold storage. And those are like your long-term UTXOs, your generational UTXOs. But then all the sats you accumulate going forward now, you can create smaller UTXOs. Those are going to be the ones that you spend in the future. And the reason I say that is because when you only have large UTXOs, even though it only seems like maybe $1,000 worth today or $2,000 worth today, in the future, that 1 or 2 million sats, you're going to be able to buy a lot with that. And so when you send that to somebody, let's say you wanted to send 10,000 sats to somebody, but you only have big UTXOs, you're going to compromise your whole stack. You're going to dox yourself because they're going to be able to follow that back and see that you had 1 million sats or 2 million sats in that UTXO. So increase your UTXOs. It's okay to do it. You're not going to be spending Bitcoin for a while. This is for long-term holders anyways, people who have the green light on. So things to increase UTXOs. And if you don't know what I'm saying, you should spend a little bit of time learning about UTXOs. Things to increase sleep. Everybody knows this, but nobody does it. Me being guilty of this myself. And so what I would say is I'm not going to try to tell you that you need 5 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours or anything. I'm not a sleep expert. I don't claim to be. But I do know that whatever amount you're sleeping right now, you could use more. So even if it makes, 15 minutes earlier every night or half an hour earlier every night, that's going to have a net positive on your life. And try to do that. And even if you do it 3 or 4 days a week, that's still going to have a net positive impact on your life. So again, with all this stuff, you don't need to be making like huge changes, but small steps. I just showed 2 here. Gratitude. Super underrated as well. Whatever you're feeling, stress, fear, anxiety, anytime you're sleeping at night and your mind is racing, always, this is a very simple trick. And I think it's worth taking the screen off here. But this is a simple trick that has helped me greatly through the years. Anytime I'm having a hard time going to sleep, and there's probably a lot of people who can relate to this, but when your mind's racing and you're spiraling into different thoughts and concerns and fear and anxiety, one thing that I've done is I've anchored back to gratitude. And very simply, I mean, you could get as crazy as you want to it about it. You can think about all the things you're grateful for. I know it's hard to do when you're in that headspace, but the easiest thing that you can do in that moment is just be thankful that you have a pillow. Be thankful that you have a roof over your head. because there's a lot of people out there who don't have a pillow, who don't have a roof, who would give anything to be where you are right now. So I've found the best cure for all that stuff is gratitude, just being thankful for what you have. And it takes practice, it takes work, but it's still going to be a net positive for you in your life, I believe. Exercise. Obviously, we know this, but again, not enough people do it. One thing I would say, a couple things that I've changed within my exercise routine is I know that I'm not going to have every week perfect. I know I'm not going to make every workout. Things come up in life, shit happens. But again, one workout today is better than not working out today. One workout tomorrow, better than not working out tomorrow. So these are all incremental things. And you don't have to spend 2 hours at the gym. You can do things within your own house as long as you're getting your heart rate up and sweating every day. That's what I tried to do. And again, I know there's going to be days where I don't. That's okay. But any day that I do, I feel way better. My mental state is better. I feel better physically. I know that's going to have a lasting impact on my health when it's compounded. So try to sweat every single day if you can. And if not, don't beat yourself up. Things to increase in your life: skills. I mean, I don't need to tell you, you're here today. You're watching this right now. So focus on learning. And that was another part of the becoming supernatural that I've been learning, is that every time you learn something new, every time you experience something new, it changes your dynamic. And I think that you should be taking active steps towards always learning different skills. We're moving away from the world of centralization and specialization, and we're moving into a world of generalization and decentralization. And if you can understand that and be aware of that and take steps, you're going to have a very, very bright future. So stack skills, stack knowledge, learn as much as you can about as many different topics as you can. And we've never been alive nobody has been alive at a better place than we are today. Any question you have. I mean, here's the thing, whether you're watching part 1, part 2, or part 3 of this, if you want more information on any of these topics, how to sleep better, how to reduce my blue light, how to get stats into cold storage, what can I do to increase my income, my sats flow? You have a very handy tool in your pocket now, and you can just ask Perplexity, right? You have any questions about anything, ask Perplexity. Always be learning, continue to stack skills, and it's going to pay huge dividends for you into the future. Gray, just a quick side note here. Gray says, when sunlight hits your eyes, you produce melatonin, melanin. That's melanin. Sorry. Saw melatonin. Your natural protection from excess UV. When you wear sunglasses, you're more likely to get burned. True. That's why when you go to like Mexico and stuff, the locals don't wear sunglasses and they don't get burnt. That's like such a Western world thing of wearing sunglasses to try to block the sun. One of the biggest psyops in human history, in my opinion. So get sunlight, cut the sunscreen, cut the sunglasses. And okay, next one here, non-KYC sats. This is a big question within Bitcoin, how to get non-KYC sats. I don't think it's something that you should obsess over, but I do think it is something that you should try to increase in your life. So whatever you have today, again, just like your UTXOs, whatever you have today, that's okay. Whether it's a bunch of UTXOs, small UTXOs, KYC, non-KYC, that's okay. But focus on either adding more UTXOs or adding more non-KYC sats. Just do that going forward. Again, you don't have to blow up your whole process here, your whole setup, but just going forward, try to get more UTXOs and try to get more non-KYC sats. And if you're looking for help with non-KYC sats, it's something that I don't really talk about on the channel here. So you can just shoot me an email. jor@bitcoincitadel.net. And the last one here is privacy. Increase your privacy slowly. This is another thing too. All these things, they're big changes because they're so much different than we're used to living here. And so you have to just take all of this stuff very slowly. And if you can just take one step in the right directions to becoming more private online, that's a good thing. One example I'll share with you here, and it's just kind of popped in my brain here right now. But one very small thing that I did, you know, you don't have to go full cypherpunk here and reroute your whole house. But one small thing that I did was I downloaded an app called Image Toolbox. And every time I share a picture online, whether that's on Nostr, Instagram, or YouTube, whatever, I delete the EXIF, deletes the metadata from images. So before I post anything now, I just delete the EXIF, which increases my privacy because there's less metadata attached to my photo there. So not something I had to spend a bunch of money on, not something that was a huge change in my life, but every time you do that, that's a net positive in the right direction. So that's just one example, but there's many ways that you can do that. So that's part 3. Make sure if you're just tuning into this one, you go back to the channel. I might put this in a playlist or put them together or something, but I want to break them up into 3 parts. So I hope you enjoyed these today. That was the 3rd one. 3 things, or not 3, but things to increase in your life. And I'll catch up on some comments here, and then we'll hit the road because we're pretty much at 2 hours here. So as we wind down, if you got anything from today, if you enjoyed it, you learned anything, you can join the likes of Daniel, Clean Your Machine, Letha, LaughPad, everybody who has been sending in sats today, and you can send it right there. Arnie's wallet. It's a good way to send some value back if you received any today. And if not, then sorry for wasting your time.